Today I'm happy to welcome you here on behalf of the Kara family, and also, of course, on behalf of our sponsors, Safaricom, represented today by Mr. Okeo. And perhaps, I'm sure you all join me in congratulating them for the excellent financial performance which they achieved in the past financial year. We appreciate very much the government's commitment to emphasize the need for security, the need for a secure nation. We have seen a lot of developments going on in the last few years to resource the police and the other agencies so that they can protect us better. It's expensive, but it's one of those things the government has to do. And we in the private side of things feel that we also need to play our part. So each one of you, please play our part in making sure we have security.
We all agree that communication plays a critical role in ensuring the fight against insecurity is maintained and is won and is seen to be won. It is important that rollout of communications infrastructure is supported by the citizenry in order to ensure the effectiveness of security services in Kenya. So we need the support of the citizens to win. At Safaricom, we are very proud of the collaboration we have with government and industry and associations such as Kara. We believe in making society a better place. And at Safaricom, we say we are transforming lives. And I'd like to assure you this is what happens. So with the good use of technology, we in Kenya can increase security and at the same time enhance protection of privacy and personal data. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Today, in the spirit of community policing motto of security begins with each one of us in our individual capacities, many people have installed CCTV cameras in their business premises and residential places, and they need help. They help a great deal in piecing together evidence whenever something happens. Working hand in hand with Safaricom through the government sponsorship, the National Police Service has a call center that responds to all emergencies in the country that is based at the Inspector General's office. That call center is manned by the National Police officers, and all command, direction are done from that command center. So we have moved a step forward from what we were in years ago, where we had the 999 based in some of the police stations, and the 999 some years ago was never operational. Either it was breaking down or it was never attended to. But today, for sure, I can tell you, for those who have been using the 999 because of a need that is within the neighborhood as we are gathered together, or an issue that needs to be responded to by the National Police Service, they get a response from that command center, and action is taken by the officers on the ground. More so to that, we have always spoken about walkie-talkies that the police have been using, which looked obsolete, as the chairman said. But today, we have a 4G radio system where we are able to send photographs, videos from the ground, or to an officer to take responsibility on what is happening on the ground. The difference that has come with the project is that we are using the GIS system. The handsets that we have issued to our officers are monitored at the command center through the GPS. So within a certain locality, if a crime is reported or an emergency is reported within that area, what the control center does, the officers at the command center, they locate the nearest officer who can be sent to go and respond to the emergency that has been reported. That is why the difference of response has moved from the very many hours that we are always having because of the issue maybe of getting enough transport in a police station. Within that locality, the officer at the command center will be able to call the officer directly through the handset he's carrying, through a private call, or call him directly by his call sign and inform him where to go to. That has reduced the rate of inaction, and that is how we know how many officers are within what range when an emergency is reported. That is the most important part of it. We want to move from calling individual officers and calling the command center for accountability purposes, because most of the numbers that we had given out in most cases were individual officers. These officers could have been transferred from the stations they were in, or if it's the office number, that number could be faulty. And most of the time I listened to FM stations when they were calling, and that either that number was never responded to, or it was just ringing, or it was not going through. So the impetus now is to change from that way of working, get a centralized call center, direct all the calls there, then any emergency or activity that is required, police is required to respond to, is directed to an officer through a dispatcher. And more so, what we are doing in this project is to ensure the information that has been given at the command center is dispatched to the division where that occurrence has happened, so that we get a feedback in knowing what action has been taken. By the time that is happening, officers have already taken action.
Now, I still remember His Excellency's words in the previous one and this one, that you cannot have one policeman for every individual. It's not a possibility. Unless and until we police ourselves and we start understanding our own responsibilities. Everyone knows if something goes wrong in some place, I'm sure somebody knows about it. But we're just prepared to keep our mouth shut. Why? Because if you open it up, then you know your soles of your shoes get almost with holes, going up and down to the police, coming back, police, coming back, giving a statement, coming back, sitting over there half an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You know, it never ends. And that's why the people keep quiet. I think that we need to improve on both sides. We don't need to keep quiet, but at the same time we are not prepared to accept unnecessary borders. Just because I come and tell you that I know that this happened in my own eyes, and that's just about it. Now you don't want me to keep on coming every day and say, now on every third day you come to the police station. I think that this bureaucracy must stop. And today, many crimes goes unnoticed. And the statistics of police comes out very nicely. Crime reduced, no crime, ABCD, less crime, this crime. People are tired and fed up to go and report. Unless they become more efficient. And for them, I think that they should be using ICT. Real ICT, in sense, delivering whatever the complaints are in time. And the end of it. I don't think that I have to just keep on coming and harping on it. So I think many times we think that security is okay because we keep our mouth shut. Please, if we keep our mouth shut, it's never going to work. We have to get up, stand up, speak about it, and try to get the changes that are necessary. Because without that, it's not going to work. And my personal feeling is that we cannot have 1 policeman to 1 man. It's not possible. Even 1 to 1,000 is not possible. All we require is efficient police work and ourselves making effort to make sure that we are secured. If I'm not secured and I don't care about my security, who cares about you then? I think that we must take responsibility ourselves. And I think that Kenyans are still not prepared to take it. They've looked to the government. It's your job. It's not your job. It's our job. If I want my children to be safe, it's my job. If I want my home to be safe, it's my job. I need to make effort to make sure that I'm secured. And I think that now with the technology, the way it is moving technology, you can trace anybody anywhere if they want to. So I think that all we require is that can we as Kenyans take the responsibility on us rather than looking at the government and say, hey, come on, you do it. No. This is where we change now. Please, when you come over here, take from us what Safaricom is doing, what the police force is doing, but besides them, 90% you got to do it. And if you don't do it, well, thank God, nothing's going to happen. So please, take responsibility and be responsible Kenyans first.